Today's lesson is following section 1.4 in your workbook, so if you want to see some extra examples, you can start looking on page 49. The learning intentions for today are to calculate a dollar amount of a discount. So if something is 20% off, how much money are you saving? The second way we're going to use this today is to calculate the sale price. So if you know something is 20% off, how much is the discount, and then how much is the new price? Before we look at an example today, I'm just going to show you something that we've worked on in video 4 and video 5. And what this is finding 30% of a number, or a percent of a number. And we had two ways to do this. One was to change percent into a decimal, and we change it into a decimal by either dividing by 100 or moving the decimal 2 spots to the left. So this would be 0.30 of is times 40, and I'll wait to give us the answer. The other way to do this is to set up related rates like we've worked on since the first lesson. 30 out of 100%. So we have our percents, and then on the other side, it's out of a total of 40. So we have our totals on the bottom, 100% total, $40 total. How much are we dealing with? And we can use our fish technique, and for both answers, we get $12 is 30% of 40. So here's an example of the work you'll see in your book today. You'll start with an item and a price, and they'll want to know how much the discount is. So in this case, a $95 pair of shoes is 20% off on Monday. How much will you save? So they won't always say how much is the discount. They'll ask it in different ways. In this case, how much will you save? So how much cheaper is it? And what that is you need to find what 20% is in a dollar amount. So we're looking for 20% of $95. And from our last example, we move our decimal over 2 spots. So we get 0.20 times 95. Or we could set this up as it's 20 out of 100. It's 20% out of a total of 100%, and it's how much out of $95. Do our fish technique. Either way we do this, we get an answer of $19 is the discount. That's how much we saved. 20% off of 95 is $19. Now, what is the sale price? Well, the sale price is how much you're going to pay now. So if it was $95, you could minus the discount, how much you're saving, and this is a total of $76 is your new price. Now, another way to do this, if the question just skipped the discount part, if they didn't say how much is the discount, they just said how much is the new price. Another way of skipping right to the $76 is if 20% is the amount that's coming off, percent's always out of 100. So 80% is how much you're going to still pay. So if we had done what is 80% of 95, because you're still going to be paying 80% of the total, because 20% is off, move the decimal 2 spots, 0.8 times 95 is $76. So if a question ever skips the how much you'll save and just goes to what is the new price, instead of calculating the discount and then subtracting, you could go straight to the answer by finding the opposite of your percent. So instead of 20% discount, you're paying 80% of the total, so we look for 80% of 95. We're now going to look at the questions in an opposite way. So instead of taking a percent and finding out how many dollars of discount it is, what if you want to know how big of a percent you're getting off? So these questions are like, what percent is the savings? And to find percents are always how much you have divided by the total. If I ask you to find let's say on a test, you got 60 out of 80 on a test. And I said, well, what percent did you get? Is that an A? Is it a B? Well, to find percent, most of you know it's the amount you got 60 correct, divided by the total out of 80. So it's the amount in question, and in question I just mean if the question's saying what is the discount, then it's the discount divided by the total. In the question I've asked you, where it's what's your percent on a test, it's how many you got right on the test divided by the total. And 60 divided by 80 is 0.75. And to find decimal percent, you move the decimal 2 spots to the right or times by 100 and get 75%. Okay, so whenever a question asks you for a percent, you need to think of your formula. Amount in question divided by the total. So let's look at this one. Here's an example. A $60 video game is $10 off. What is the discount as a percent? So using our formula, the amount in question is what is the discount as a percent. So the discount is $10, and in percents, always divide by a total. And the total is $60. So 10 divided by 60 is 0.16, and then the 6 keeps repeating. Now to change decimal into percent, we move it 2 spots to the right, or times it by 100. If I times this by 100, I get 16.7%. So that's the percent of our discount. Your assignment for today will be all questions from pages 50 to 58. If you're struggling with any of the examples I give today, follow along in the book in these pages, check out their examples, and hopefully between the two, you can figure it out.